We have a special spotlight edition this morning, and it is particularly important, especially in the wake of the kidnap of the school's children and their teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State, and the fact that they are still in captivity even until now. And it's particularly important to have these conversations as well. And today we have that special edition. My name is Buyika Olani once again, and I have
Michael Inyang. Good morning, Lagos.
All right, let's get to the conversation this morning. Let's get to Prof now. Prof, I'm sure you caught the tail end of this story, but how would you assess Nigeria's fight against terrorism and banditry today?
Thank you very much. I listened attentively to Bolahan Olani, and I think I just feel very bad. This is not a country again. Even though we can say, politically that Nigeria is winning the battle, but from the narratives, you notice that we have not won the system war. For me, I think terrorism survives when the fighters, the financiers, the informants, from what you say now, they have informants, they have logistics suppliers, they have corrupt facilitators, and we have a weak governance, So when this functions together, then terrorism survives. Today, Nigeria marked, like fourth among the countries, most impacted by terrorism. That's in 20-25 years. They attacked about 120 in 2024. But last year, they attacked about 171. And the incidence of death rose by 46% to 750, since 2020. If you look at the what is happening in Borno, Borno alone recorded about, I think, 67% attack and 72% of deaths, So, and all this, you can see civilians accounted for more than 67%. You can hear what Bolahan Olani just narrated, We have the ISWAP, which carried out about, I think, 92 attacks and about 384 deaths in 2025 alone. And we can talk about Boko Haram, and the Lakurawas, So for me, if you want to ask me for my, what I think, I've been speaking about this forever. And I will only bring it from the point of the financial aspect. As if I want to introduce the core of this discussion. If you look at the intelligence report, we have about 48 billion that was demanded, in 2024 alone, and about 2.57 billion was received by these people. And they abducted more than 4,000, almost 5,000 people, were abducted. So if you ask this question, I think I will start from that premise that we may be winning the war from newspaper accounts and from the government speeches, but you can see that the system war has not been won. If you look at the ecosystem itself, the government is not trying. So that's my immediate reaction.
All right, Prof.
We have made, I have to mention this for our audience to know that we have made some tactical progress. We kill people here and there, but if you look at the general thing, the main people that are orchestrating this have been left, and that has been my position for the past 4 years. And I think maybe we will get there. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You made mention of informant, corrupt facilitators, breaking it down to details of this menace increasing from 46% down to 750%. That's a huge number. Telling us how these people have cut away over 48 billion naira in 2024. But this comes to the question of emphasis on intelligence gathering. Where are our biggest gaps today? Where are we missing it?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. As an intelligence officer, I've seen that, most of our training, focuses more on technical intelligence, signal intelligence, communication intelligence, tracking, financial intelligence, and so on. But I think the gap, if I may answer your question, right? And then the first gap is human intelligence, actually. We're still weak inside communities. I come from Ogun State, and our people are so, lethargic, So we are still weak inside the communities, inside the forests, markets, the motor parks, for instance, mining sites, and some of the border settlements. Like if you go to Katsina, the GBR community and the Megama community, you'll be amazed that there's just no sign of governance in those places. I used to go there for operations way back in, I think, 2003. And there's no local government, because when we moved from Abuja, we were trying to go to Niger for some operations those days. We needed government support, Sometimes because there's an army base in Katsina towards the border. It's a battalion. So when we get there, sometimes we try to contact the local government. So we go to GBR, to the local government, to just tell them, okay, we are here in case you see anything. The chairman is not there. The place is bushy. And when you ask questions, they say, they only come at the end of the month when they are about to pay salary. So I cannot overemphasize the gap in human intelligence. I think the second gap is what I would consider intelligence fusion. I've trained all over the world, and I know my training in Israel shows how the Israelis do it. They have a fusion center. For instance, in Nigeria now, the Department of State Services, I respect them a lot because I work with them sometimes back. They may know something, The police also may know something. We in the military intelligence, I was in DIA, we have our, way of gathering information, and we have a lot of information too. And like the Nigerian Financial Intelligence, NFIU, I think. Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. They may see some money movement, for instance. But the gap here is that some of these pieces, are not fusion. They are not fused together. I remember when we were chasing the Niger Delta guys, and Yaradua told us to work together those days. He basically, as I said in my interviews, he forced us together. And we discovered that the DSS has so much information that we could have needed, to prosecute that operation. But they were keeping it, So police, DSS, army intelligence or military intelligence, financial intelligence, they must fuse together. So that's the second gap. I think the third gap is actionable intelligence.
Okay, Prof, allow me to come in. Why, if the president is saying, the agencies should work together, why will a particular agency keep a particular information? Is it for the glory of the operation, or just because they feel like, we can't cooperate, let's accept we do this alone? Because at that point is to save the country, to save the situation. So why will a particular agency keep such information?
Yeah, as you're asking me, I'm just laughing. There's this rivalry between us. We want to show that we are better than the DSS. DSS want to show they are better than DIA, NIA, and so on, police. So I think if I want to answer your question, it borders on budget. You know, the more you have, I think the more you can defend your budget. So it's about money. The DSS want to have the lion's share of the, defense budget or security budget. So why should they share that information with us? So that's why you have a commander-in-chief of the armed forces. That's why I tell people that you can't put illiterates in government as we have done now over the years. They don't even understand. So the answer to your question is about budget. It's who gets more,
the lion's share.
So that's why this happens.
So you were about to talk about actionable intelligence as part of the gaps.
Yeah, for me, what I've discovered in my 35 years of practice is that sometimes we get intelligence, we get information. If I tell you some of the things we pass on to the federal government that could have, ensured that these things does not degenerate to where it is now, you'll be shocked. I may just want to say one or two things on this station, but let me tell you that, when you collect information, it's just not enough. That information must lead to arrest. It must lead to what I would call disruption, prosecution and prevention, So Nigeria does not really suffer from absence of information alone. We suffer from poor conversion of information into timely action. I told the Nigerian population, I think in 2022 on Channels TV, that I know, not even, not the DIA, I know those people that are financing terrorism, I told the government now, and I came out on TV to speak because I was frustrated, So the gap is the actionable intelligence. How does the commander-in-chief respond to the intelligence analysis that we provide, They don't in most cases because of politics, So I think that is the major gap where you don't, respond to information or the intelligence that we pass. I know, I'm saying it for the first time. I know a chief of defense intelligence, some years back. I won't mention years and names so that people don't track it to him. That was actually working for Boko Haram.
Wow, in Nigeria?
Yes. And I'm saying it on radio. Maybe if they call me, maybe, they've called me before, I was declared wanted once sometimes, And one of the questions they asked me was this, and I refused to tell them. I refused because I told them I have to maintain reticence, I told them I work here and I know, so it's in your file, so why are you asking me? I didn't release that information and I've not released up to now. So when you have a situation like this, who is now going to act on the intelligence when the chief of defense intelligence is also working? And if I release some of the things he did, this country will explode because there is a known terrorist that was under my care. And the following day, I came to the office and I found out that the cell was empty. He has gone. And I asked those guys, what was going on? Where is he? And they said, they got orders to release him. And when I found out more, I discovered it was the chief of defense intelligence that asked them to release him. And who is my boss? I was just... then I was ADSY, they call us. I was assistant director of security, so I was in charge of Bakassi and some of these internal security issues. So I interrogate, I question, and we have a lot of information as to those people that are sponsoring them. This particular person, because I'm trying to treat your question as the issue of actionable intelligence. Even when we now arrest them, they still get released. at that level of DIA. And this particular person was released. I don't want to talk too much because I could have told you how police now catch on that information and all the media started making noise. They didn't even know the details. They only knew that, he was found somewhere and blah, blah, blah. And we cannot release some of this information because damaging. So it's injurious to the nation. This is no longer a country.
Prof, so why is it hard then, if we have information, we know who these terrorism financiers are? Because we've had figures like, Ahmed Gumi talk about how government knows these terrorists, government knows where they are. Why is it hard to then take action and forestall all of these challenges that we have today?
You mean why is it difficult for government to
clean up all of
action?
Yes, to clean up the system.
I won't want to provide some of this information here because if I do, your listeners will not understand why government is doing some of the things they're doing. It's very deep.
Some will say, is it due to elections, or it's more than that?
It's more than that. It's actually more than that. But let me just give an idea to your listeners. Look at what is happening in Israel between the Israelis, the Palestinians. Look at what is happening in Lebanon, southern Lebanon now. Look at what is happening in Iran. Look at what is happening in Ukraine. There's a lot of things that you people don't know. That I'll give a hint. Most of your leaders, they're into a lot of I won't call it spiritual, but maybe a lot of cultism, activities that basically, give them incentive to shed blood. So that's why it is deep. So you understand why they are allowing people to be killed like this. You have to. Why are they killing people in Palestinian states and nobody's talking? The international community is not talking. The United Nations is quiet. Why is Israel? Yesterday they are bombarding southern Lebanon for no just cause, and everybody's looking. So all these leaders belong to a lot of cultism. And they need blood to continue to, lead you and make you look stupid because you have to feed the devil. So when I say it's deep, it's because our listeners, we cannot perceive what I'm saying. So it's deeper than election, It's happening all over the world. People are being killed, people are being raped, people are being kidnapped. It's not only here. Go to Mexico, go to even in Syria, the ISIS of this world. What are they doing? Killing people, kidnapping people, raping them, harvesting organs and so on. So it's a very deep ecosystem that at this level of discussion, I don't want your audience to get lost. But the issue is that they will not, do the needful. My recommendation is that these civilians that are listening to me, let them sit down there and be complaining. They have to take their life back from these blood-sucking demons that you have.
But what can civilians do, really?
Don't ask me. If they get to a point where they will react,
why
need to react.
Why the question is coming? Because Nigerians have protested. We have the Take It Back movement. We've had the Occupy Nigeria, different even currently there are protests going on in your state, Ibadan. So, are you saying that protest is not enough?
Again, it is deeper, and that's why it's just you. I don't want to grant interviews anymore because I discovered that the populations are not educated. When I say educated, I don't mean university. They just don't have the awareness. Some of the protests you are seeing, Some of them are even sponsored, and you see that they have limits. They just told them, okay, go out and make noise, and they get some money. And this is not a revolution. When people protest, you look at those people that are leading the protests. Go to the MENA region, the Middle East and North Africa, when they did their own revolution years back. I'm talking about Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, up to Egypt then, when they killed, one guy committed suicide, he set himself ablaze because, he was frustrated and people just rose. That's the kind of revolution you should be talking about. It has to be spontaneous. And I'm using this opportunity to teach or to instruct or to create awareness to our population. So the revolution is not done by one man, carrying placard and, based on people to follow him and they're making noise and nothing happens. That's why nothing is happening. If revolution wants to start, it's going to be spontaneous. Something will ignite it and people will not say, yes, enough is enough. Then you're going to have respite. But what we are having now are just window dressing. And that's why I've gone into my recluse, because I see that our people, they lack knowledge. And I think they're also benefiting from some of the iniquities you are seeing.
Can I remind
some
you?
Politicians. Go ahead.
Prof, can I remind you of NSAS? How destructive it was, and it made a little shift from the part of the government. Isn't that something that will say, okay, this called the attention of the government, and it was changed from SWAT or from
SARS
to SWAT. So, is this similar to what you feel that the people should maybe emphasize?
Yeah, I followed the NSAS protests, and I know how it was brought down. And unfortunately, the person that brought it down that is still your president today. So I know how Sanwo-Olu, contacted the Bonny camp and the 81 div. 81 div in Lagos. And the guy that led the operation is somebody I've worked with in 1998, 99. Although he is a military intelligence officer. He's retired now. I know him very well. I know his parents. Military, they obey orders. So if the governor of a state, through Abuja, call the military to go and kill people, that should be enough for you not to vote them. I always blame the population. People don't like it when I say we are the problems, But you still voted them in now. I don't hate anybody. I'm not a politician, so I don't support. I'm not in opposition, but the population still voted these people in now.
But are you aware that the government said nobody died from that incident?
I'm aware, but I know people die. When bullets are flying, people must die now. But they did it so neatly, they were able to cover up. How do they cover up? They bribe you people now. I will talk to the media. They bribe you guys now. I'm not saying your station, but they bribe the media and they cover up the deaths and and everybody has moved on. Those people just died for nothing. So you now expect them to come out again? You want them to come out again? Some of them are still in jail. Some of them, their accounts have been frozen. Some of them are still suffering. But we moved on. The problem is the society. It's not these politicians now. 2027 is coming now. Okay, they are still going to troop out and vote for them. You understand? So we can blame the government, we can blame the politicians, but issue of legitimacy. You can't be a governor except the people voted. And if you say, your vote doesn't count, they normally bribe. Because I know some of your audience will say, you are saying vote, but the vote doesn't count. Okay, who is helping them to ensure the vote doesn't count? Is it Sanwo-Olu that goes to INEC to turn print? Is it Tinubu that goes to polling booth to change paper? Is it Tinubu that carries ballot boxes? It's not people. There's no way they can rig the election except we people still help them to rig it. Or is INEC, are they politicians? So we need to.
All right, from this is to say that poverty is one of the tools that the government is using to deal with the people. And well, we hear from the people, but
we'll get to the phone line shortly. But Prof, I also like us to explore this part of the conversation. Are you worried that we're seeing figures like Sunday Igboho, now rise up, threatening, ethnic nationalities, and some people are also calling for the need for Nigerians to have the right to self-defense, to own weapons, and just defend themselves when these attacks happen. That's on one hand, and there are, of course, figures like Sheikh Gumi who continually talk about negotiation and negotiating with these terrorists as well. So do these things worry you as a person?
I think you asked me two questions, and I think the first one is about Igboho and his activities. My dear, I think the issue is that if the government refuses to act appropriately, then we have people like Igboho now. Yeah, I don't want to speak trash on the radio. If you give me weapons too, I will go to the bush now. if I get weapons, I'll go to the bush and chase them out of our bushes now. It's because I know the police will not act. The military are under orders not to act excessively. The judiciary have been ordered not to prosecute. So we are helpless. So if people decide to come up to defend his people, so you say you shouldn't do that. If you give me weapons, I will also defend my people now. Because once you have a failed state, then you start having actors, we call them non-state actors, they will start taking laws into their hand and there'll be anarchy. For me, two wrongs doesn't make a right. I wouldn't subscribe that individuals should carry arms, because that's part of your question. You should carry arms. Some of them will still use it to kidnap people now. I know some Yoruba people have started the business of kidnapping now. So if you give them arms, and you don't regulate it, and they will start kidnapping and causing more harm. There will be anarchy in the state. So what we need to have is a good governance that respond, that react, and we will not have Igboho and the likes, taking action on to protect their people.
Do you think state police solves part of the problem?
Say again?
Do you think state police solves part of this problem? Because there's a lot of advocacy now for the establishment of state police.
That's another deep question you're asking, and we don't really have enough time on radio.
Maybe we'll have another time to have.
But can you just touch on it briefly? Can you just touch on it briefly?
I wrote a paper, I think sometimes back. General M. Said, who was the chief of defense intelligence, asked me to write a paper when we saw what the police were doing, and it was taken to the president then, and they didn't do anything. What you need to do is to just basically, state police will not help. I spoke on Arise TV, and I said that the political actors now are not matured to manage state police because they are going to mess it up now. They are going to mess it up completely. Secondly, I did an intelligence analysis of what they are doing at the Senate. I have the papers, I have access, and I did an analysis of it because I'm a lecturer now, so I write papers I write articles all the time. And I saw that what they are doing in Abuja is just going to give you a state police on paper. And that's going to be worse. It's going to be worse because our politicians have a way of destroying a very good idea. State police is a good idea, but Nigeria is just not ripe for it. You are journalists. Go and get access to the second region. Go and check what they're doing there. You see that they're just giving you state police on paper. They're still going to control the state police from Abuja. The financing, the training, the selection of your commissioner for police. Go and look at the details now. They're going to destroy it. So if Ogun State, for instance, is not happy, it's not doing well with the federal, or maybe it's in the opposition. Let's say ADC now wins Ogun State,
Okay.
And the PDP, they are in the federal. They will not give him money now. They won't allow him to run his state police now. They are going to ensure that state collapse.
Cripple it.
Then they will not declare state of emergency on that state and take over that state. You see, we have to be educated on some of these things. If you look at the American system, it's working. They have county police, they have the state police, they have the federal, they have their national guard and so on. I study security in many institutions in the United States. I was in their National Intelligence University, I was in their National Defense University, I was in their best institution, which is that's United States Naval War College. I trained there. They have this system, but if you bring it down to Nigeria, it won't work. Already they are ambushing that state police now from Abuja. They still control it. Go and see what those senators are doing. They are still going to control those states. They just give you state police, but they won't fund you. The police commission, the federal, are still going to manage what you are doing in the state. You can't. The governor can still not maybe do well with appointing who he wants to be his commissioner of police. They still have to control it. Okay, go and check those documents now.
All right.
So I agree that we need state police, but it has to be done properly. That's my take.
All right, Prof, there's so much conversation regarding the state police. I don't know if we'll have your time again. If you give us your time again for us to have this conversation, because recently the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, talked about how LSNC, that's the Lagos State Neighborhood Wherever, is credible enough to stand in as state police and say, oh, they have the funds. I'm referring to funding, just about what you said. That, they have the funds, they're credible enough to carry state police. Well, we have our colleagues also right here who joins us on the conversation.
And we still have Bola on the line as well. Bola, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, so I think we should also... I think we should also ask you how you're doing, because it was an harrowing experience that you passed through. How are you doing now?
So I've been struggling ever since I escaped both the Ekiti state governments, both the YSJ, the company I was working for. None of them reached out to me.
Your boss never reached out to you?
I swear to God Almighty, nobody reached out to me from the states. Nobody reached out to me that, how are you doing? We have been struggling with debt since then. My mommy have been repaying back the loan we borrowed. So due to the help of people, we have been able to pay part of the loan. So we still have 4 million naira debts left to pay now. So we have been struggling. I've been jobless. I've been helping my mom at her shop. So I've been struggling since then. Things are not really well with us since then.
But how about the experience? Because I know that when people pass through things like this, government talk about rehabilitating terrorists who perpetrate this kind of arms, but survivors like yourself, has there been any psychological, review or evaluation that you've gone through?
Are you getting any therapy?
Are you getting any therapy? Help? Because I imagine that you must still have, some episodes from this experience.
No, except the hospital I went to after I escaped, that I was treated and did various tests.
You went to, or the military took you there?
My mom went through this. Nobody reached out to us. Me and my mom have been struggling since the day I was released from the RSS, that they handed me over to my mom that night. Nobody has helped us.
I'm sorry, but I want to just jump in and ask the professor about, how do you see this response? Isn't it sad to know that the state is not doing anything to help him? And I guess we're using him as an example. There are many more who have escaped and need psychological, check, therapy, amongst other sorts of help, not to mention the monies that they had to, get for the ransom. What's your state or stand on this, Professor?
Hello,
Prof.
Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Prof, I don't know if you can hear.
Are you?
Did you hear my question?
To me?
Yes.
Yes.
I was just responding to the he was telling us about his I call him a survivor, not a victim. He was telling us that he's not getting any help from the from the state, not getting any. In fact, him and his mom have been looking for how to repay these loans. Not to mention that after the RSS released him, there's no therapy, nothing has been done to actually help him get help as a state or as a nation. There has not been any help. What's your take on this, sir?
I think my take on it is going to be more of policy strategic
Right.
answer. Governance is local. Terrorism is local. Now, I don't know which state it comes from. Does it have a local government chairman? That's where they're supposed to go now. They are not supposed to go to the governor or the president. As this thing happened, they're supposed to go back to their local government where they reside. They have their councillors, they have their chairman, and that was where they're supposed to go. But no, the state has captured the local government completely. I don't know when that we're going to get that. In governance, you have to strengthen the community, the local government, the county, as the United States call it. So that's where immediately he comes back. He's supposed to go to see their councillor.
Right.
Because they have their ward chairman, they have their councillors. Those are the people that are supposed to take up these things and go to the chairman. They have fund for this. There's funding for this type of thing. And they're supposed to ensure that this guy's trauma is
attended to.
Minimized.
I'm really sad to see that. Again, you mentioned policy. We've been going through this state of kidnapping and what have you for too many years not to have a policy, a system that
will
attends
help
to the
anyone
people
who
get
has
out.
gone through this kind of situation. It's very
I
sad.
think you have problem with your microphone.
Okay.
I can't hear you very well. Maybe you should use the other.
No, not a problem.
Okay,
Not a problem.
I wanted to first of all
Yeah,
say,
ask your question again.
okay, Prof, thank you so much for joining in. I'm the gifted goddess, and I would like to say I'm very sorry, Gbalahan, that you had to go through this experience. I am so sorry. But to Prof, sometime last year, because you are into intelligence, the United States deployed approximately 100 to 200 military personnel to Nigeria to train and advise local forces not to indulge in direct combat, but to help the Nigerian command to have conversations around intelligence and how to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. Please, what was the outcome of that? Because I don't think I've heard anything whatsoever. Are you privy to this information?
I don't know if that question can be, just briefly,
Do you want me to further break it down?
Yeah, because your microphone is still on.
Okay, can you help me? I don't know
Yes,
if
she
you can
said a few months ago,
Yeah.
the U.S. sent a number of their officers, to Nigeria to help train some of our officers as regards intelligence. So she's saying, are you privy to any information as to the progress or how it's going or the outcome?
Oh, yeah, I got you now. My position has been very clear from beginning that don't ever, and you can quote me on this, don't ever allow the United States to bring their troops here.
You too. You have that opinion too.
I train in the United States, so I know them, okay?
Right.
I've been in their best institutions. I've just mentioned 3. Don't ever allow United States to have their boots on the ground here. I tried to send that advice through a proxy to Tinubu, but they don't hear. they don't listen. How is it going? You know, the American style of operations, because that's the kind of training I had. You know, I was in the war college. You know, it's more of kinetic approach. You know, air dominance. You know, then send bombs and kill people, then go away. Now, I'm a specialist in counter-terrorism. You don't fight terrorism like that. And I know that's what the United States are going to do. They will just come here, send some bombs here and there, make noise, and they just walk away. And they're going to turn this place into Afghanistan. I want government. They don't listen. How can you spend so much money on me to train me all over the world? Then we try to advise you. So why did you send us there to go?
In the first place.
I wish we had more time with you, sir.
Yeah, why do you spend that money on us? Then we advise you that you won't hear. Yeah. Let me tell you, United States will turn this place into Afghanistan. They will manage your economy in a way that all your gold, all your resources, they will take them away. They don't care about you. You think America cares about you? Oh, they love you so much. Oh, they love our Christians.
I hear the sarcasm.
Prof, we're really out of time now.
Oh,
I know you don't have time on air. That's what I don't want to do.
we need to talk about state policing with the Prof another time.
I hope we will have you again for the show of state police.
Yes.
All right. Well, Prof, we have to go, but we'd like to thank you. I do know that you do not grant a lot of interviews anymore, but we'd still like to thank you for finding time to join us this morning.
Yeah, I really appreciate this. I pray that God will deliver the country.
Amen.
Yes.
Politicians, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Bola, thank you for joining us as well.
So sorry about what happened to you. Thank you very much.
And we hope that you get the help that you need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bola, do you have a social media handle in case someone wants to reach out to you to help you?
Yes, my ex account is active.
What is the handle?
Terrorist survivor Bola Olaniyi.
Okay.
That is the name.
All right. Terrorist survivor Bola Olaniyi. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Wow. I wish